Hi, this is Dreama, and today we are doing a client reading. And as always, I know the name of the client and they know their name, but I won't be saying it in this video. Now, today's reading is a 21 card past, present, and future reading, okay? Now, I've actually already shuffled the cards, cut them, and laid them out. And the reason I've done this ahead of time is this is a very long reading. There are quite a few, actually, because there's so many cards. So I want to make sure that I have enough time to explain all the cards in detail to the client. Now, the top row, there are 7 cards. The top 7 cards, those cards will help us understand the past of the client, okay? The center row is the present, okay? And the bottom row is the future. So we're going to start actually with the past. Okay, it looks like we have the Ace of Swords. Now, this is an interesting card as it relates to the past. What that tells me about the client is that sometime in the recent past, you have went through some sort of change. Something has happened in your life to make you feel as if you were starting over with a clean slate. This may have been a relationship, a job, something, but it was almost like a rebirth of your life. So it was actually a pretty, optimistic time. Okay. Okay, next we have the Ten of Swords. This card is pretty graphic, okay? And actually, there's a person, and they're laying on the ground, and on their back, there's 10 swords. So what that tells me is that there was someone in your past that had betrayed you. Someone had betrayed your trust and inflicted a whole lot of emotional pain on you, okay? I think what I'm getting is that they were someone that had something to do with this part of your life where you thought you were starting over and things were going to be better. But as it turned out, this person betrayed you, okay? And then we have the Moon. I'm not sure how well you can see, but at the bottom of the card, there are some wolves that are howling up at the moon. So what that tells me is that in your past, when this was going on with the pain and this almost rebirth of a new life, that it looks as though there was some deception going on, okay? This person that betrayed you had actually deceived you in some way or the other, okay? All right, and next we have the Nine of Cups. Now, this is an interesting card. It's, as you can probably see, it's a man and he's completely surrounded with cups. So what that tells me about the past is that this is actually a pretty good card in comparison to the last 2 cards. And what this tells me is that you had some sort of success in your life. I'm not sure. I'm getting that maybe it had something to do with this deception. You came to some sort of realization and understanding and actually gained some wisdom out of this. So therefore, it made you feel as if, it was a little bit more successful because you could see what you've learned by being deceived. Okay. Next, we have the Six of Cups, but it is in reverse. Now, whenever a card is in reverse, it gives it a completely different meaning, okay? This is really, when it's turned the right way, it has a completely different meaning. This, to me, when it's upside down, is about renewal, okay? It's about something happening again. So what I'm getting is that whatever this was that happened to you in the past, it looks like it happened again. So this is not something that was just a one-time thing with this deception. This was something that had happened repeatedly, okay? Next, we have the Eight of Swords. And again, this card's rather graphic. She wears a blindfold. She's surrounded by swords. Now, to me, what I'm getting from this card is that you begin to feel as if you were surrounded, okay, and pretty much enclosed in this cycle that kept repeating itself. And in order to continue on the way you have been, you almost had to put a blindfold on and wear blinders because you didn't know how to break this cycle. Okay. Last, we have the Emperor. Now, this is an extremely powerful card. And the Emperor, actually, to me, this is about compassion. It's a very powerful person, very compassionate face. So what that tells me is that the reason that this past kept reoccurring is that you had some sort of sympathy or empathy or compassion for this person that kept deceiving you. Okay? All right, now let's move on to the present. Okay, and we have the Ace of Rods, but it is in reverse. Now, the Ace of Rods is like the other cards. When you take something and, turn it in reverse, it takes on a completely different meaning. Now, what I'm getting out of this card is that there's been some, right now what's going on is there is some joy in your life, but it's kind of clouded. Almost like you're afraid, okay, that this may repeat itself again. So that's what I'm getting, a clouded joy, but yet fearful, okay? And then we have the Judgment card. Now, this card to me is about balance, okay? And what I'm getting is that you are seeking some kind of balance in your life. Something that's going to make you happy. And you're wanting to balance things, okay? Next we have the Knight of Rods. Now, this is interesting because this, again, is a very powerful card. And I'm not sure if you can see it, but the Knight appears to be kind of looking off in the distance to the card, okay? They're not really looking straight on. So what I'm getting from this card is that there is a dark person in your life. And by dark, I don't mean dark looking. But within their very soul, they are dark. But on the outside, they're extremely friendly, okay? And because this card is looking out this way, what I'm getting is the client is looking for change. You're looking for change and balance, okay? Next, we have the Eight of Cups. Now, this is interesting. I'm not sure if you can see, but there's a man in the background, and there's a lot of cups that are, kind of beneath him. Now, this card actually, tells me that even though you're looking for balance and, you're looking for change, there's also kind of a surface joy, if that makes sense, that you wish to give joy to someone else. You're a very compassionate person, and I think you have that tendency to want to be compassionate and help others and forgive them, okay? And then we have the Seven of Pentacles. Now, this card is really interesting. I'm not sure how well you can see, but the boy is kind of looking down at a pentacle. And, to me, this card actually, it is kind of a sad card. It's about, someone who doesn't have a lot of hope. And, also maybe there's been some quarrels or something that have happened in your life. And although you feel compassion for those people, you also kind of feel, saddened about that, okay? Maybe because you really don't know how to change this person, okay? Next, we have the King of Rods. Now, this, again, is really interesting. It's a very powerful card. And the King, to me, this is about, again, someone who has a dark inner soul, but they're very powerful. And what I'm getting is that you want someone to be honest with you. That's what you're searching for. Balance, honesty. And you haven't gotten that in the past, okay? Okay, and we have the Five of Cups. Now, this is interesting. There are two cups here, two below. And, what I'm getting from this card as far as the present remember we are still talking about the present, is that there's some sort of inner struggle that is going on within the client. Almost as if, they're looking for what they want, but you're just not able to find it. And when you do, you seem to get deceived over and over. It's causing a lot of despair and a lot of problems in your life. Okay, now let's move to the future. And we have the 10 of rods. Now, I'm not sure if you can see, but in the distance there's a castle, and he's carrying all these rods. And, what that tells me is that, with what has happened in your life in the past and also in the present, it seems as though what you're wanting to do is to go towards that castle, to walk away, to kind of set aside, things, and set aside all the problems. And I really think that's what I'm seeing here, is that you're going to move past this. You're going to move past these problems that you've had in the past, and things are going to get better for you. Okay? And then we have the 3 of rods. Now, this is an interesting card because I'm not sure if you can see, but there are actually 2 rods here and 1 there. And this card tells me that you have come kind of to the end, the future, you'll come to the end of your problems. Almost as if all this will be just suspended and delayed, and things will get better for you, because the card, you're going towards the horizon, so you're moving forward. So it looks like things are getting much better for you in the future. Then we have the 4 of rods. Now, this is also interesting as it has to do with the future, because I'm not sure how well you can see, but this is a really good card. This tells me that there's going to be a lot of peace and prosperity and things like that that will be happening in the future once you move on and move towards that new horizon. Okay? And then we have the 6 of Pentacles. Now, I'm not sure if you can see, but he's holding a couple, and there's some down there. And, what this card tells me about the future is that it does look as though things are going to be much better for you in the future once you move past all those obstacles, okay? And what I'm getting from this, basically, is that there's going to be some gifts. He's holding 2 of these, and that will be in your love life and also financially. There's going to be, a lot going on, except, this is not going to come without some pretty hard work. That's what I'm getting, is you're going to have to move past these obstacles and move on and make a change in your life. Once you do, things will get better, and your finances and your love life will improve. Okay, and next we have the Knight of Pentacles. Now, this is a really powerful card. And kind of what I'm getting from this one as far as the future is it does look like there's going to be some new responsibilities that you're going to be taking on in the future. That may be with new people in your life or new jobs, but there's going to be an added amount of responsibility. Just be sure that you're able to keep the balance, okay? And then we have the Page of Swords. Now, this is an interesting card. It's actually a very powerful card. I'm not sure if you can see, but the page is a very strong man. He's holding 1 sword up, okay? And what that tells me is that, in the future, there's going to need to be one thing that you need to, concentrate on, okay? And that's going to be this new added responsibility. And there may be times where you'll have to hold the sword up and defend this new responsibility that will be happening to you. But just be sure that you don't go overboard and that things kind of stay in the balance. Okay? Next, we have the World. Now, this is an interesting card because I'm not sure if you can see, but it goes in a circle. Okay? And what that tells me is that looks like your future actually is going to be pretty good, because things are going to change for you, and there's going to come a time where you may actually even make enough changes in your life that it actually may change where you are as far as within yourself, okay? It's going to be a voyage. That's what I'm getting. This future will be a voyage, but because this is a circle, it will make your life complete in the end, okay? All right, that does conclude my reading for today, and I'd like to thank everyone for joining me, and I do hope to see you all again.